Thank you so much for joining today. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about which is the best city in the world for designer thrifting. Let's get into it. Now, the best city for designer thrifting in the world is arguably Tokyo, Japan. And here's why it stands out above the rest. Now, there are several reasons as to why Tokyo does take the win in terms of designer thrifting and stands out from the other cities around the world. Let's get into these. Now, the first reason is that Tokyo maintains an impeccable condition when it comes to the clothing. Now, the Japanese culture places huge value on cleanliness and care. So, all that to say that your secondhand items or pieces of clothing will look nearly new. You'll often find pristine, even unworn, designer pieces from brands such as Chanel, Prada, Comme des Garçons, Yohji Yamamoto, for example. Now, another reason is that Tokyo has highly curated shops. Tokyo's resale stores aren't chaotic thrift stores like in other areas around the world where they've got these huge piles and mountains of secondhand clothes. They're actually beautifully merchandised, whereby they actually look like luxury boutiques. So the staff is very knowledgeable and the inventory is curated for your fashion conscious buyers. Now, another reason as to why Tokyo takes the win is that there is an incredible depth and rarity. You can find archival runway pieces, Japan only collaborations, and rare vintage from Japanese and global designers. Some stores specialize in specific eras, brands, and even subcultures. Like, for example, like the 90s, Vivienne Westwood, or even the punk era, Jean-Paul Gaultier. And then you'll have your neighborhoods that are packed with options. And like, let me tell you, when we say options, there are options. Like, you'll never see the end of like how much thrift stores or just thrifting activity you get to do when you go to Tokyo. It's insane. I've been a few times already to Tokyo, Japan, specifically for thrift shopping, and I'll give you the lowdown. Like, you've got Koenji in terms of neighborhoods, right? So you've got Koenji you can go to, you've got Omotesando, we've got Harajuku, Shimokitazawa. What else? We also have the neighborhoods of Shibuya and Shinjuku. Now, all of these neighborhoods offer specifics or different aspects to your thrifting. That's what's really cool about them. So if you ever get the chance to go to Japan, have a layover in Tokyo or whatnot, and you're obsessed with thrifting and fashion like myself, do yourself a favor. It's an experience. It's so worth it. Try to go to these neighborhoods and target a few stores. You'll absolutely love it. So, of course, with every neighborhood, you'll have different offerings. Now, for instance, I know with Koenji, for example, you'll find affordable vintage, and you'll also be able to find like some crossover punk designer eras. In Shimokitazawa, you'll find hip, youth-focused shops where you'll also find little hidden gems here and there. Then you'll have Harajuku and or Omotesando, where you have really your higher end, higher priced designer resale stores. In Shibuya or Shinjuku, you'll really have like your mega stores and like your chained secondhand boutiques. Now, there's a few examples of top stores that I can give you guys. We've got Ragtag, Kindle, Chicago, Brand Collect. What else? Yes, and Jumble Store. Now, Ragtag is more of like your chained resale store. That one is across multiple locations you can find. They're better known for their authenticated designer pieces. Next, you have Brand Collect, we mentioned. They're known for having like a huge selection of global designers. Then we spoke of Kindle. That one is known for having high-end designer resale, but with affordable pricing to it. Then you have Chicago, which is a mix of vintage pieces and designer. The next one we mentioned was Jumble Store. That one is more on the affordable side, and yet it still holds, strong like designer pieces in there that you could find. Now, it's all nice and fine. We've talked about our city, which is Tokyo, and the whys. It's really taken the win on being the #1 city in the world for designer thrift shopping. However, what about its price, right? Now, when it comes to the price, it's still relatively cheap, I want to say, compared to other major cities around the world, such as Paris and New York City, where those resellers over there tend to heavily mark up the price of items. So, again, let's not forget, you get a lot more bang for your buck or value for your money in Tokyo because, as we mentioned, they really are so particular on the value and the authenticity of the designer or the luxury pieces that you know exactly what you're buying and you're not leaving the shop having spent a certain amount wondering or doubting, was this a fake? Was it a real? And again, they really put value on preserving and offering such good quality items. It's not half destroyed by the time it's made its way into the store. So, again, pricing, probably not on the lowest of the scale, not the cheapest, but it's relatively speaking, it is the cheapest for what you're getting in exchange. So, in conclusion, if you're serious about wanting to do designer thrift shopping, Tokyo really is or has the best to offer, I'd say, globally, or on a global scale, with the combination of quality, quantity, rarity, store experience, and fashion culture all around. Like, even if you weren't there to go buy, just standing still in a given like fashion district or street in Tokyo, where you've got your stores around you and watching like the Japanese youth walk around you and just seeing their getup and how they dress and how they treat fashion is so inspiring and motivating and just gives you so many ideas. It's truly an experience to take off your bucket list if you're like a fashion lover. All right, lovelies, and there you have it. That was our episode on which is the top city in the world for designer thrifting. And I cannot wait to go next myself. I hope you'll find yourself there soon enough one day. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Bye, lovelies.